Happy Monday, everybody. The 6th day of May, 2019. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host, and this is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Back at it for another work week. The 100th Washington State Apple Blossom Festival is in the books. It's a done deal. A splendid time was had by all. What a great festival. What a great weather we had over the weekend. What a great parade. Both Friday night with the Les Schwab Classic Chassis Parade, Saturday morning for the Milk Growers Grand Parade. All the past royalty, over 160 past royalty, worked their way back here to the Wenatchee Valley to celebrate with us. Everybody was hopping. Everybody had a good time. Memorial Park was a sea of humanity in a good kind of way. We had a great time doing the parade. Everybody seems to be on their best behavior. We get this every day from Rivercom. It's called the Law Incident Summary Report. And it's basically every call that came into 3 of the 4 local law enforcement agencies. So this is basically a summary of what they did for the Chelan County Sheriff's Office, the East Wenatchee Police Department, and the Wenatchee Police Department. The Douglas County Sheriff's Office does not participate in this report for reasons we don't know. We've inquired, and we have not gotten a satisfactory answer why they send their own report. But they do. That's just what it is. So. This is the Friday report, just to see if everybody behaved over the weekend. It wasn't bad, actually. All things considered, it's pretty normal. On Friday, the Chelan County Sheriff's Office responded to 47 calls. The East Wenatchee Police Department, 17 calls. And the Wenatchee Police Department, that's a 2-pager. They answered 84 calls on Friday, the 3rd of May. And then Saturday, I thought might be a fairly sizable one. The Chelan County Sheriff's Office was busier. They answered 53 calls. The East Wenatchee Police Department, 26 calls on Saturday, and the Wenatchee Police Department only 60. So the Wenatchee Police Department answered 84 calls on Friday, but only 60 on Saturday. A far cry from what it was in the early to mid-'80s, when it would be hundreds and hundreds of these things, back when a lot of folks would come in from out of town, cause havoc, and then leave. So everybody seemed to be in their best behavior. That's just Friday and Saturday. I don't have yesterday's report. They haven't sent it to me yet. We'll probably do a little recap from the Apple Blossom Festival from a law enforcement perspective anyway. It looks like it was just basically another normal weekend around here, except that we had our big party, and everybody had a great time. I hope you enjoyed yourself as well. Hope you got to participate in the festivities. Hope you got to watch the parade live on the NCW Live channel. Yeah, we'll be showing it again numerous times throughout the course of the week, and eventually, it's a big file. Eventually, we'll be able to work it over into our website, and you'll be able to watch the Milk Growers Grand Parade on demand. Wouldn't that be cool? Anyway, back out of here on a Monday, a fantabulous forecast. High pressure is large and in charge. It's over the Pacific. It's going to work its way in. Beautiful, gorgeous, sunny, warm weather all week long and right into the weekend. I can't wait to give you that forecast. We also have the news. We have the weekend that was in sports. We have all the usual shenanigans, the obscure holiday today and history, birthdays. Everyone is entitled to Mike McNally's opinion. And in the conversation portion of this program, it is a sit-down talk with our beloved news director, FitzSimmons, and Senator Brad Hawkins. Once, of course, they wrapped up the session at the end of last month, Brad and our other representatives, Mike Steele and Keith Gaynor, are now back in town. And Brad Hawkins gives us his impressions of the legislative session that just wrapped up last week. That interview with Brad Hawkins and FitzSimmons comes up in the back half of the program. As you can see, it's a beautiful morning. The sun's already up. It's going. Let's take you around north central Washington with our Valley View cameras as we begin to clean up the valley. It's going to take at least a couple of weeks for Memorial Park to recover because all the grass has been beaten down by the massive amount of traffic for the food fair and the entertainment and the art in the park and the beer garden. It'll get there, but this is a good week to recover because it's going to be sunny and mild all week long. By the way, the people who watched the Milk Growers Festival Grand Parade, as you look at that beautiful shot from our cross camera, this was just on our Facebook stream. This doesn't count people who are watching it on television or who are watching it live on our stream on our website, but on our Facebook stream, we had people from Liberty Lake, Clarkston, Virginia, Oklahoma, a couple folks from Sims, Montana, Kalispell, Montana, somebody who's watching the parade from Spain, from Hawaii, from Michigan. That's kind of cool. They were all watching the Milk Growers Grand Parade on our Facebook feed. on Saturday morning. Thanks for watching it. We appreciate it. Anyway, there's a beautiful view of the Wenatchee Valley from our cross camera. Camera 2, where are we going, Megan? We're going to go take a look at, see, that's got to be Nanapoc Ridge. Am I correct, Megan? Yes, Nanapoc Ridge. Boy, you still see some snow up there in the higher elevations. There's going to be a lot of snow melt this week with temperatures in the 80s all week long. So the snow is going to be receding like my hairline. And of course, the reason I can tell that's Nanapoc Ridge is the power lines are right down the middle of your picture. Camera number 3. We're off to Arundel Rock, looking down towards the Wenatchee Valley. Mission Ridge losing lots of snow as well. Snow melt's going to be pretty, my guess is the Columbia River is going to be high and cold. No flooding in the forecast for the area rivers and streams. That's not really an issue. We got through the flooding concerns a few weeks ago, so we're looking fine there. But the Columbia is high and it's cold. It's just not really, really high the way we don't want it. Beautiful view from Arundel Rock looking south towards the Wenatchee Valley. Earlier, by the way, on US 97A, they had a rock slide that blocked the entire highway both directions. DOT came out and got the rocks right out of the way, so we think it's open and you're good to go between Wenatchee and Chelan. And camera 4 is a view of, okay, I got to work on that. Steins, what am I looking at? Cashmere, okay. Beautiful, gorgeous. Blossoms are gone and the trees are getting their job done as they start growing the apples and the cherries and the peaches and the pears. Cal FitzSimmons, our news director, loves pears. It's his favorite fruit. Gorgeous view there. And this is going to be a great week for things to hang on trees and grow. Absolutely gorgeous. All right, that's our view from around the Wenatchee Valley. It's 7 minutes after the hour. Let's go ahead and take a look at that weather forecast from the National Weather Service. And if you'd like sunny and mild, and I'm one of those who does, there you go. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful May weather. Yesterday's high 77. Our normal high is 68, so we're looking good. If we get to 80, and that is the forecast, right around 80 degrees for our afternoon high, I did the research this morning. The last time the Wenatchee Valley hit 80 degrees was back on September 27th of last year. So you do the math. It's been 220 days. 220 days since we hit 80 degrees. And we should do it today and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. A gradual warm up. There's a big dome of high pressure. It's got the jet stream way up over British Columbia. So that's why we have this beautiful weather. In fact, not only is it a big dome of high pressure, it's going to actually, it's over the Pacific Ocean. It's going to actually slowly slide to the east. So sunny and mild, a gradual warm up near 90 on Saturday. Break out the swimming trunks and the golf clubs. A gorgeous forecast right into, by the way, this could go right into most of next week as well. No complaints there. Beautiful forecast. Thank you, Mother Nature. And boy, was it a beautiful weekend. You know, you think about all the planning that went into the 100th Apple Blossom Festival. It took about 3.5 years to plan the festival, longer than normal because it was the centennial. And you keep your fingers crossed that the weather is going to be at least decent for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It was more than decent. It was beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. It was almost like it was ordered up specifically for the centennial. Just about 9 minutes after the hour, we are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we got the news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, live from Studio 7 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life channel.
When the people you serve are your friends and family, you see the world a bit differently. You understand that your survival depends on the health and strength of your relationships. Your word is your reputation, and that doing the right thing is the only way of life that matters. At Confluence Health, we remain humble. Trust is a gift that is earned, a privilege, an honor. And we remain grateful for the trust you place in our hands.
Hi, I'm Jim Heinlein, agent here at Senior Insurances of North Central Washington, where we help our clients navigate the Medicare world. One of the things we really enjoy doing is teaching our clients about their rights. Like, did you know that if you have a traditional Medicare supplement, you can change that monthly all year long, regardless of prior health conditions? So if you'd like to know more about your options with Medicare, you can visit us at one of our 5 local offices, as well as give us a call at 888-2600.
Welcome back. 10 minutes after the hour, we have 52 degrees, lots of sunshine. We'll top off at 80 degrees, temperatures in the lower 80s in the early part of the week, upper 80s in the back half of the week. Here's what's making headlines on this Monday. This video that you're going to see is from the Arundel Firefighters Association. Look at that. Firefighters in the Lake Chelan area responding to a pre-dawn house fire. This was on Saturday. Chief Tim Lemon with the Chelan County Fire District 7 said the blaze was located at a residence in the Sunnybanks Road area. He says the house was fully involved when crews arrived shortly after 3 a.m. He says 2 of the home's occupants were able to escape. As you might imagine, the home was a total loss. Also, 6 vehicles apparently burned on the property. The cause of that fire is under investigation. Speaking of fires, the National Forest Service says the wildfire outlook for north central Washington for this summer looks about normal. But the same cannot be said for western Washington, where large fire potential is expected. April brought ample moisture to our region, but the same was not true for the western part of our state. The Forest Service says as the season progresses, the potential for rising above normal in central Washington is most likely north along the Canadian border. Fire continues to be in the news this morning. Construction is expected to get started on Chelan County Fire District 1's new main headquarters, the new Wenatchee Fire Station. Chief Brian Brett says the project is scheduled to go out to bid this week. It's located on Wenatchee Avenue on property that was previously occupied by Prospector Pie's restaurant. Brett says the new station will replace the historic downtown Wenatchee Fire Station.
Sure. Our building design is a 2-story daylight basement walkout out here on the east side of the building. Once we go out to bid, we'll see what we actually get to construct of that. We issued bonds last year for $6 million. That is our budget for this project. It's approximately 16,000 square foot building. The second story will be the crew headquarters up on the second floor. The main floor walk-in will be the offices and reception area, as well as the apparatus bay. And the daylight basement will have our training room, community meeting room, exercise room, storage, and IT rooms.
Brett says they're hoping to get construction started sometime this summer. At the same time, the fire district is in the process of moving out of their Maple Street station and moving their operations to the station at the corner of 5th and Western. That station is currently being remodeled. He says crews and equipment will be housed there until a new station is completed. Well, the Grant County Sheriff's Office is issuing a warning about receiving various complaints of ransomware attacks on business and personal computers. Ransomware is a type of malicious software or malware. It's designed to deny access to a computer system or data until a ransom is paid. Ransomware typically spreads through phishing emails or by unknowingly visiting an infected website. Ransomware attempts to extort money from victims by asking for money, usually in the form of cryptocurrency, and in exchange, they get the decryption key. But cyber criminals don't always follow through and unlock the files that they encrypted. So you want to be wary of any suspicious emails with attachments and any websites which may attempt to use vulnerabilities in web browsers and other software to install ransomware. Make sure your system, software, antivirus programs are all up to date. And if you think your computer has been affected with ransomware, contact a computer service professional for assistance. And finally, well, you know, it's tough work, but somebody's got to do it. Last Friday afternoon, just in time for the lunch hour, I went back to Memorial Park one last time to decide what was I going to finish eating up on the food fair. And, well, I decided the best treat for me on Friday for lunch was a foot-long corn dog.
I'm the voice of this.
Traveling north.
I get paid 3 cents every time somebody pushes that button. Unfortunately, I took all the money I made and I sunk it all in AOL and Blockbuster. Nobody paid me to be smart, just to be good looking. I'm thinking about doing the foot-long corn dog. It only takes a week or so to get all the way through. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Hi, kids. There's no school today? Really? Where do you go to school?
Clovis.
Oh, Clovis. That's an intermediate school? Who's your favorite teacher?
Miss Thompson.
Miss Thompson? She's tough. She held me back like 3 years. I'm not kidding you. I just graduated high school. 2 foot-long corn dogs, please.
$20.
Can I borrow $20? Should we go get some mustard? Because I like to dip mine in mustard. So let's see if I can aim this. Oh, I missed. Okay, making a mess. Look at that. Okay, I think I can do this. All right, let's go eat. I would look great in one of those. I would look great. I have the body for it. Oh, hey, there's royalty. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. We got royalty. Look at this. You got any plans this weekend? Netflix?
Oh,
Gonna just
no
check
plans
back,
this
nothing?
weekend. No, we have the parade!
Ooh, yay! It's great to see you. Hi, ladies. How are you? Our corn dogs are getting cold, so we just thought we'd come by and say hi. Beer garden's open. We can go eat in there. We just need a place to sit and eat our corn dogs. I'm 21. He's 21. We're coming in.
Oh, yeah.
It's good to see you. Fantastic. That's embarrassing. That's just embarrassing. Oh, Alex, I'm going to need more paper towels. Paper towels, paper towels, paper towels. I'm an idiot, I'm sorry. That's corn dog. That's some demo of the corn dog. Good God, what do we do here? We're just destroying the beer garden. All right, corn dog has been consumed. It's time to do ice cream. What grade are you in?
I'm in 5th.
Yeah, are you getting good grades?
Yes.
You're not lying to me.
Yeah. No.
I can log into the system and look at your transcripts, buddy.
I know.
So I just need your social security number. Go ahead and give it to me now.
No.
Okay. See, you done good. My social security number is 4, one of the first ones ever issued.
Because he's as old as dirt, right?
So there it is. My budget was $700 for the week, and I'm down to 28. In conclusion, I did almost every food booth this year. Thanks to all the vendors for putting up with my nonsense. An extra special thanks to my favorite cinematographer, my coworker who sits right next to me, Uriah Darby, for all he does. Hey, Cal. Is this the steak sandwich you were talking about? Is this the one?
Yeah, that's the one, Dan. You finally got it right.
Mystery solved.
Oh, we had fun. We had fun. It was fun visiting with people. It was a really, really good time. It really was. Before we go any further, I want to welcome a brand new sponsor to this program. Confluence Health is a brand new sponsor to this program. And after all the food I ate at the food fair over the last 10 days, there you go. I may have to visit Confluence Health. Well, if you're going to visit them, you might as well go with the professionals. Thanks, Confluence Health. Welcome on board. Wake up, Wenatchee Valley. It's good to have you on board. Don't forget the news with Grant Olson. Comes your way at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock, 5, 6, and 10. The news with Grant Olson. We'll wrap up the weekend that was. Eric Granstrom will handle sports. The news back here in the studio because, of course, all last week, the news was live on location. Monday through Thursday, we were live at Memorial Park last week. And, of course, on Friday night, as a prelude to the Les Schwab Classy Chassis Parade, we were live from the campus of Local Telecommunications. Thanks for everybody to come out and watch us do the news. And now we're right back here from Studio 4 in downtown Wenatchee. The news with Grant Olson at 5, 6, and 10. And don't forget, get a hold of us. We'd love to hear from you. You can pick up the telephone and give us a call at 888-2020. You can drop us a line. You can email us, news@ncwlife.com. You can go to our Facebook page and drop us a message. We have a Twitter handle. We'd love to hear from you. This is as much your station as it is ours, and there are days when I really do wish it was your station and not ours. It's 18 minutes after the hour. When we come back, sports. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Hi, my name is David Olson. I'm the Chief Executive Officer at Columbia Valley Community Health. No matter who you are, no matter where you come from, we genuinely care about our patients. And we hope that you trust us to take care of you, to take care of your family. Thank you.
Here at the YWCA Thrift Store, our mission is to make positive change in the community by giving women and families the tools they need to regain economic stability through work experience and education. Featuring generously donated new and gently used furniture, housewares, clothing, and much more, the YWCA Thrift Store has something for the whole family. Shop, volunteer, or donate with us today.
We're back at it. Clear skies, sunshine, 53 degrees. We're going to hit 80 degrees for the first time in 220 days. An 80-degree high for the Wenatchee Valley and sunny and warm all week long. Let's take a look at what's happening in sports. Both Wenatchee and Eastmont soccer teams, they both advanced to their district play-in games. On Friday, the Panthers knocked off Moses Lake 4-2 to advance to tomorrow's first-round district playoff game. At Sunnyside, the Wildcats got a 2-1 victory over Davis on Friday night. They also advanced. In the first round of the District 6 1A tournament Friday, Chelan and Cashmere advanced to the next round. The Goats edging Tenaska 2-1. The Bulldogs knocked off Manson 4-1. So here's what tomorrow looks like for the prep soccer playoffs. Wenatchee travels to Sunnyside. They get going at 6 o'clock. Eastmont also on the road. They'll be at league champion West Valley. Also kick off at 6 in the District 6 1A tournament. Cashmere plays at Bridgeport at 4:30, while Cascade hosts Chelan also at 4:30. We turn our attention now from soccer and leave off the field at the Apple Bowl all the way around to baseball. Same time at historic Recreation Park. Things started out really well for the Wenatchee Panthers. They beat Ike 9-3 in game one of their doubleheader. Coach Jeff Zender pleased with his club's performance.
Oh, it was a good game. Jared Rubash sparked us coming out, throwing the ball really well, spotting up his fastball, and really hitting that curveball. So they had a tough time hitting it, and took a couple innings for the bats to get rolling. Put a few together and ended up with 13 hits and 7 runs, and just a good win. Good win. We needed that after last Tuesday.
Things would not go Wenatchee's way, however, in Game 2. Ike got the win in the second game. The final was 5-4. Meanwhile, the team that Wenatchee was battling for second place in the Big Nine standings was across the river playing at Eastmont, and that was the Davis Pirates, and they came on top in both of those games, 11-7 and 12-5. So the Pirates finished second. Wenatchee finishes third in the final Big Nine standings. Also on Friday, it was Chelan sweeping Connell 21-6 and 17-1 at Keona Benton beat Cascade 10-2. So the District 6 1A tournament starts today in baseball. Cashmere hosts Cascade in a loser-out game at 4:30. Tomorrow is Big Nine district play-in games. The Wenatchee Panthers will host West Valley at 5. Eastmont is on the road in Yakima to take on Eisenhower at 5. Both the Panthers and the Wildcats have to win if they want their season to continue. Let's take a look at the Les Schwab Prep softball scoreboard from Friday. Eastmont swept Davis 18-0 and 14-4. Wenatchee split a twin bill with Eisenhower. They lost in the opener 15-12, but they won the nightcap 14-8. Cascade no trouble with Cashmere. They beat everybody 13-2, and Okanagan shut down Chelan 12-1. And the Mariners finally snapped their 6-game losing streak Sunday. They whipped up on Cleveland 10-0. Eric Swanson and 3 relievers held the Tribe to just 2 hits on the day. Swanson earning his first victory. He went 6 innings, held out no runs, 1 hit, 3 strikeouts. Seattle got the offense going early. A grand slam by Jay Bruce in the first inning. Edwin Encarcion and Mitch Haniger also left yard as Seattle kept from falling to the 500 mark. The Mariners are now off to New York to begin a 4-game series with the Yankees. It's Geritol Day at the park. 33-year-old Felix Hernandez, 38-year-old CC Sabathia. First pitch, 3:35, and those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Monday. It's 24 minutes after the hour. It's time for the obscure holiday of the day today, and today is National Nurses Day. In fact, all week is National Nurses Week. It's celebrated annually on May 6th since 1982. It goes back a long time. The idea of National Nurses Week goes back to 1953. Dorothy Sutherland was an employee of the United States Department of Health. She wrote a letter to President Eisenhower suggesting that there be a National Nurses Day declared by Ike. Ike didn't do anything. And then neither did Kennedy or LBJ. And finally, President Richard Nixon in 1974 thought that this was a good idea. Why did we do it 21 years ago? So they finally made it happen. In 1974, they declared National Nurses Week. And then in 1981, they declared National Nurses Day. And finally, in 1982, they declared May 6th to always be National Nurses Day, and it is National Nurses Week. Nurses play an important role, as I mentioned before, at Confluence Health. I love the nurses there. I've had surgery at Confluence Health, and the nurses can take care of you. Trust me on that. They're good. National Nurses Day today. It is May 6th. There is a lot of things that happened on this date in history. Happy 130th birthday to the Eiffel Tower. The Eiffel Tower was officially opened to the public at the Universal Exposition in Paris on May 6th, 1889, 130 years ago today. The tower is about the same height as an 81-story building. It's 1,063 feet tall. It is the most visited paid monument in the world. Almost 7 million people visit the Eiffel Tower every year. It is the iconic structure in all of Paris. When it first went up, they didn't like it, and now everybody loves it. It is synonymous with Paris, and the Eiffel Tower is 130 years old today. Take a look at this box score between the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees for May 6, 1915. You see the bottom yellow there? That's Babe Ruth. He was the starting pitcher for the Boston Red Sox. He batted ninth, and Babe Ruth hit a home run at the Polo Grounds in New York against the Yankees. He was a Red Sox at the time, of course. It was his very first Major League home run. Babe Ruth hit his first home run on this date. 104 years ago, he would hit many, many, many more. May 6, 1937, 82 years ago today, this happened.
The ill-fated Hindenburg on her last flight sails over New York. The airship was hailed by thousands who little dreamed it was their final glimpse of the Hindenburg. Again she dumps ballast, and a nervous tension grips those who are watching, for this is something unusual.
The back motors of the ship are just holding it just enough to keep it from... It bursts into flames. Get it started, get it started. It's crashing, and it's crashing. It's crashing terrible. Oh, my, get out of the way, please. It's burning, bursting into flames, and it's falling on the mooring mast and all the folks between it. This is terrible. This is one of the worst catastrophes in the world. Oh, it's like 400 or 500 feet into the sky, and it's a terrific crash, ladies and gentlemen. The smoke and the flames now, and the flame is crashing to the ground, not quite to the mooring mast. All the humanity and all the passengers screaming around it. I told you, I can't talk to people. There's friends around there. I can't talk, ladies and gentlemen. Honest, it's just laying there, massive smoking wreckage. And everybody can't hardly breathe and talk and screaming. Lady, I'm sorry. Honestly, I can hardly breathe. I'm going to step inside where I cannot see it. Charlie, that's terrible. Listen, folks, I'm going to have to stop for a minute because I've lost the voice. This is the worst thing I've ever witnessed.
The blazing aftermath reveals the extent of the disaster, an inferno which became a flaming tomb. A twisted mass of girders, the seared and scorched skeleton of what was once a mighty airship.
"36 people died in the crash and subsequent fire. The cause of the Hindenburg disaster was never determined, and Zeppelin flight, which was all the rage, basically came to an end with the Hindenburg disaster. Happened on this date 82 years ago. May 6, 1940, the best novel I have ever read in my life. 79 years ago today, The Grapes of Wrath, the very controversial at the time John Steinbeck novel, was awarded the Pulitzer Prize. The Grapes of Wrath, to me, the best American novel ever written, got the Pulitzer Prize 79 years ago today. 77 years ago today, not a good day for America. On the island of Corregidor, the last American forces surrender in the Philippines to the Japanese, and it was a pretty sobering day for America. As President Roosevelt said, we're going to have a lot of losses early on, but we're going to turn this around, and this was one of those big losses when forces surrendered on Corregidor, May 6, 1942. May 6, 1954, and much better news, Roger Bannister became the first person ever to run a mile in under 4 minutes. There were those people, experts, they said, that it was physically impossible for a human being to run a mile in under 4 minutes. Roger Bannister proved them wrong on this date 65 years ago today. And finally, May 6, 1994. This is the 25th anniversary of Europe and Great Britain connected for the first time since the Ice Age. Great Britain and Europe were physically connected. The Channel Tunnel, officially opened. Queen Elizabeth II of England, and of course, Francois Mitterrand, the President of France, cut the duties, and the Channel was open for business 25 years ago today. And finally, we got some birthdays for you at the bottom of the hour. Sigmund Freud was born in this date in 1856, the founder of psychoanalysis. He was died at the age of 83 back in 1939. Free association, id, ego, superego, He's a pretty smart guy. They still think he might have been the best psychologist and psychologist. He was a smart dude. Knew what was going on in here, apparently. Sigmund Freud, except for me. I could use a little bit of that. Was born in the state in 1856. Robert Peary was also born in the state in 1856. He claimed to have reached the North Pole in April of 1909. His expedition was sponsored by the National Geographic Society. And they said, yeah, he made it, according to his notes and his journals and his readings and his compass and all that stuff. Yes, Robert Peary reached the North Pole in April of 1909. And everybody said, great, can we look at the papers? And they said, no, we're going to keep them under lock and key. Finally, there was so much controversy that the National Geographic Society reopened the investigation, gave all of Robert Peary's diaries and notes and readings to an expert in 1989 who said Robert Peary didn't even come close to making it to the North Pole. Oh well. I don't know what to say about Orson Welles. He was born in the state in 1915, would have been 104 years old today, considered the greatest American filmmaker of all time. Citizen Kane, The Magnificent Ambersons, A Touch of Evil. Orson Welles, the legend, was born in the state in 1915, died in 1985 at the age of 70. How about some living legends? How about Willie Mays, the Say Hey Kid? He's 88 years old today. His .302 batting average, 3,283 hits, 660 home runs, 1,903 RBIs. His wins above replacement is 5th all-time. And, of course, he was inducted into the Hall of Fame back in 1975. The Say Hey Kid is 88 years old today. Bob Seger. Happy 74th to Bob Seger, one of the best-selling rock and roll artists of all time. Of course, he's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, inducted back in 2004, and he's currently on his farewell tour. He said once this tour is over, he's going to retire. Happy birthday to Bob Seger. And finally, George Clooney is 58 years old today. He's been nominated for an Academy Award in 6 different categories, which ties him for the all-time record with Walt Disney. George Clooney celebrates a birthday today. 33 minutes after the hour. We're going to take a break. When we come back, everyone is entitled to Mike McNalty's opinion. And then Cal FitzSimmons last week sat down with Senator Brad Hawkins to kind of wrap a ribbon in a bow on the most recent legislative session. We'll get Brad Hawkins' take on what happened in Olympia over the previous session. When we come back with Cal and Brad, that interview right around the corner. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Oh, that's awesome. Look at that. Yeah.
There he is. Sure wish he was here.
Yeah, no kidding.
Little 4-point. It's a nice coconut. Solid fish.
Watch the Northwest Outdoorsman with Richie Herod, Saturdays and Sundays at 6 a.m., 9:30 a.m., and 4:30 p.m. on the NCW Life channel.
Did you know that dental disease is the #1 illness affecting a pet's health? Bacteria from the mouth gets carried into your pet's blood and can affect the heart, lungs, and kidneys. By age 3, nearly 75% of pets have some form of dental disease. Dr. Shauna Bass and the staff at Paws and Claws Veterinary Hospital care about your pets, and good dental care can help your pet live a long and happy life. Learn how to clean your pet's teeth or see what Paws and Claws can do to keep your pet smiling by calling 888-PAWS or see us on the corner of 4th and Island, East Wenatchee.
There's no substitute for the power of cable TV advertising. With Solion Cable TV advertising, you can reach your target audience right here in North Central Washington. We understand their viewing habits and can precisely target your customers on great cable networks like these. Call Solion Broadcasting today and let us show you how to put your business message right in front of thousands of prospects at a very affordable price. Solion Broadcasting, 509-888-2020. It's time to celebrate your mom. Head on over to Wenatchee Valley Mall where you'll find a great gift for any type of mom.
I have a glamour mom. She loves the frills.
My mom's down to earth. She loves to chill.
My mom likes to relax all day.
My mom could buck a bale of hay.
Pick up a gift certificate from your favorite mall retailer and let mom have a shopping day for herself. Check out the special events tab at WenatcheeValleyMall.com. Find it all at Wenatchee Valley Mall.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNally, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, one of the many suggestions being kicked around to deter school shootings is improved mental health services. Well, I agree with the concept that better identification of potential shooting perpetrators and the application of directed and subjective services to these individuals is definitely a step in the right direction. However, as with all suggestions to deter school shootings, better mental health services, it's a limited answer, as mental health counseling is only effective if the individual receiving the counseling wants to be helped. You know, that old joke comes to mind. How many counselors does it take to change a light bulb? Well, only one, but the light bulb has to want to be changed. It's true. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you get 35 years of experience and customer service in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's friendly staff strongly believe in repairing before replacing and service all major brands of HVAC units. Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning is your local, independent, trained comfort specialists, proudly serving all of North Central Washington. Call 884-6444 today.
At Harvest Valley Pest Control, we know you are committed to making your home and business a healthy and pest-free place. Hi, I'm David. Give us a call and we'll give you a firm price over the phone and schedule a time that works for you. We will do an in-depth 30-point healthy home or business inspection and craft a customized plan of action designed specifically for your pest issue. Give us a call or visit our website today.
There was a time when you had to travel a great distance to enjoy premium wine and food pairings. Now you can experience it right here in North Central Washington. Surround yourself with the beauty and romance of the Lake Chelan Valley and enjoy some of the finest winery restaurants in the world. Get your taste of adventure at Siren Song Vineyard Estate and Winery, Wapato Point Cellars Winemakers Grill, or Sorrento's at Chelan Cellars. All three have their own style and unique charm. Now you're less than an hour from excellence.
Corey here from Rose Tractor, your local Cub Cadet dealer. We've got the all-new Cub Cadet Ultima zero-turn mowers in stock, and they are awesome. The Ultima is like no other zero-turn you've seen. With a box tube frame and available Kawasaki engine, it has unmatched strength and performance, cutting up to 50% faster than lawn tractors. You have to see the Cub Cadet Ultima to believe it. Come on down and experience the Cub Cadet Ultima today.
And we're back on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Coons. As you know, a week ago Sunday, the Washington State Legislative Session wrapped up their annual term with a brand new budget. And earlier last week, Senator Brad Hawkins dropped by our very studios, in fact, this very studios, and he sat down with our news director, FitzSimmons, to get his take on the legislative session.
Well, Brad Hawkins, you're back in Wenatchee. Thanks for stopping by.
Good to be back, Cal. Thanks for having me.
So a lot of things happened with this legislative session. They seem to all happen last Sunday. It was such a blur of things going on, bills passing, budgets, everything else, that people are just now starting to catch up with what actually happened. Give me your ideas on what you think happened that is good and what happened that may be not so good with this legislative session.
Well, just like any session really, or any major piece of policy or a budget, there's always things you like and things you don't like, or things that you could point to that might be successes and things that you're disappointed about. But that's sort of, as I've come to embrace it, just sort of the give and take of the legislative process. And when you get involved in under that dome and the arena of ideas and people with different takes on life and life experiences from different areas of the state, when they all come together and debate policy, it's sort of a mixed bag. But all three of the budgets did get approved on final day. The operating budget, the transportation budget, and the capital budget. I voted for 2 of the 3. So the transportation budget and the transportation budget and the capital budget were budgets I voted for, but not the $52.4 billion 2-year operating budget. I couldn't quite get there.
Let me pin you down a little bit. Why didn't you like that budget?
Yeah. Well, like I said, there's always things you can like, and there's certain investments you can point to that are good. But the reason I didn't like it, just straight up, is that I feel like it spent too much, and unnecessarily so, because our state economy has been so strong and the revenues are coming in so well, so much as I predicted during some of our earlier conversations in the session about, this year we're probably going to see some tax increases. They did come, and I would have rather maintained existing funding for most of the areas of the state operations. Probably done a little bit more for special education, but I would have rather saved some more of the taxpayer dollars and set those aside to build up our reserve account to sort of, protect us from the possible economic downturn that could come at any time in the future. So in short, I think we spent too much and didn't save enough.
And you come from a conservative district, as you might be aware.
I think it's pretty conservative. I mean, I hear from people from all across the political spectrum, and I try hard to represent everybody.
I can't recall a Democrat being elected here for quite some time. So I'm going to stick with it's a conservative district, Brad.
I think it is.
And the conservatives are not pleased with what happened over there in Olympia this session. How can you represent people who don't think they're having their voices heard over there, Brad?
Well, that's a good question, but I am a tenacious advocate for our district in lots of different policy areas, and I think I'm a strong voice for protecting the taxpayers. And we were able to successfully push back on some of the more stinky tax proposals, like the capital gains tax and some others. So some of the revenue raisers that were included in the operating budget, while I'm disappointed that we raised additional revenue to do some of the things, I do think they were the lesser evils, if you will, from what it could have been.
Is this what it's going to be like from now on, that the Democrats have complete control of the legislature? They put an agenda through that doesn't necessarily align with a greater half of the state? Is this the future for Washington State?
I'm not sure it is the future, but I think it is potentially the new normal for a little while. We had those special sessions and everything from prior years, but in large part that was because we had a divided government. The Republicans were in control of the Senate, or it was close enough. The split was close enough that we were essentially in a tie, and we could able to use that as a counterbalance to some of the tax proposals and policies that the Democratic members were pushing forward. Certainly the Senate Republicans were able to counterbalance the House Democrats in their big push, but things have really changed, and elections do matter. When I first came into the Senate just a couple years ago, we were actually in a 1-vote majority, and now of the 49 members of the state Senate, there are 28 Democratic members and 21 Republican members. And there were times this session when I thought, if it was just a little bit tighter, some of these policies would have had a really difficult time advancing through. But because there was such a disparity among the two parties and the different philosophies, things were able to pass. So for example, the school levy expansion, that was able to pass, but
and
it only passed by one vote.
We had talked about that before, and I know you said you did not favor that, and yet there it goes through the legislature. potentially, as you mentioned, undoing the McCleary funding mechanism that got you out of legal trouble with the state Supreme Court. So where do you think that's headed now?
Well, I think it's headed to the voters. I mean, for an opportunity in the local elections to vote for increased funding for education. And obviously it is a local vote, but what I think that means is, most likely with the 50% threshold for those local voter levies, they're mostly all going to pass, and the people of the state of Washington are going to see higher property taxes as a result. Schools will get more funding, which will be good for them in a sense, but I think it will sort of lead to a disparity of funding across all 295 school districts. I sort of came to the opinion that, if anything, if the school districts needed more funding, we should do that at the state level on a per student basis. Actually, this session increase the funding a little bit more rather than allow the local school districts, all 295 different school districts, to raise different amounts. I just feel like, Brewster and Bridgeport and even Wenatchee and Eastmont, they're going to be at a disadvantage over school districts like Bellevue and Mercer Island and Lake Washington. And really, I sort of think there's a potential where we could have moved towards eliminating all and phasing out all of the local voter levies for schools and increased funding from the state, which would have been more equitable. But now it's sort of a slippery slope all over again. I believe in 20 years we might look back and be in the same situation sort of with McCleary that we were in, 20 years from now, with all the inequities that'll be in the system.
It was those inequities that brought on the lawsuit, the McCleary ruling, and created the need to boost the state's funding. And now you're heading back down that path again.
I'm afraid so.
Yeah. Well, there were other things that happened. There was a long-term care bill that passed where they're going to be taking money directly out of people's paychecks to fund it. What do you know about that, and did you vote for it?
I did not vote for that. That's the Long-Term Care Trust Act. Obviously, making sure we're protecting the most vulnerable citizens, is very important, and people's long-term care is a high priority. But I think there are ways that the private people can save through the private sector voluntarily, rather than a forced payroll deduction, which is what people will be receiving for that. Anytime the government tries to step in and do things like that, it can be problematic. But on the federal level, I think a lot of people look at Social Security and think that the Social Security system, that might be a success, depending on how you look at it. But I think the government swooping into your paycheck is not something that I support, and I voted against that. And unfortunately, too, the projections of the money raised for the long-term care program won't even cover the cost of the program. So I think it's going to be something that will be revisited, and now that the baseline is established, we're probably going to see potentially some efforts in the future to make increases to that. So hold on to your wallet.
I'm not sure I still have my wallet after that session, Brad. But I noticed they did manage to slip in something Governor Inslee had been seeking, which was $700 and something thousand to study breaching of the Snake River dams. As someone who represents a heavily hydro district, are you? What's your reaction to that? That we're studying a federal issue with state dollars?
Yeah. Well, I'm not surprised given the sort of the national implications and the things the governor's sort of involved in right now. But certainly the hydropower system is a foundational clean energy source that we should be celebrating, not attacking or trying to undermine. The Snake River dams is a different situation than the Mid-Columbia dams, but about 70-75% of our energy source is from hydroelectricity, and it's a clean, non-greenhouse gas emitting, stable, reliable source of clean energy, and it actually supports the non-hydro renewables like wind and solar, and it's really complementary. So if we want wind and solar and geothermal and biomass and all those opportunities to be successful, then we should be supporting hydropower, not undermining it. And as you know, as what we discussed, I advocated for a bill to provide hydropower equal tax treatment. I worked on that in the clean energy bill. So we have this 100% clean energy bill that passed, and the governor will be signing that now. And while that recognizes hydropower, what that clean energy bill is provides extends tax exemptions to all the other clean energy sources except hydropower. So it's just a bit disappointing and ironic that at a time when we're trying to celebrate and brag about our state being able to get to 100% clean energy, we are also at the same time trying to do away with the Snake River dams and not fully recognize hydropower. Hey, my alarm's going off. Want me to shut it off?
Yes.
Sorry.
Well,
It's okay, we can cut it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. I realized that was mine.
well, I was pretty close to wrapping up anyway, but
I didn't know if everybody could hear that.
I don't know.
Sorry, Cal. Did I mess it all up?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
Outtakes.
Yes, outtakes. Yeah, the best of Brad, we'll call it. Anyway, well, thanks for coming in today and seeing you in person. It was nice talking with you on Skype during the session, and it's always good to see you in person, and hope you get out and enjoy some of this Apple Blossom Festival.
Yeah, I look forward to it. We've got the grand parade the Saturday and the Queen's Ball and everything on Friday night. It's an awesome time. I'm really glad to be home and glad to be done with the throes and the rigors of the legislative session. But I do always appreciate the opportunity to connect with you and the NCW Life viewers from Olympia and then throughout the interim. And it's just an honor to serve the people of the 12th District. So appreciate the chance to connect with you and the people that I'm fortunate enough to serve.
Thank you, Brad.
Yeah, thank you, Cal.
Highlander Grill and Golf Course is known as one of the finest wedding venues in the Wenatchee area. You do not have to be a member to come to Highlander. Highlander Golf Course offers a first-class backdrop for your wedding day. Our friendly professional staff will ensure your wedding and reception is picture perfect, from every moment leading up to the I-dos to when the lights go down at the end of your reception. Hi, I'm Shalane, site coordinator for Highlander Grill. Give me a call to schedule your event today.
Hey everyone, did you know that the NCW Life channel is North Central Washington's go-to source for news? No matter how you prefer to view your news, NCW Life has you covered. Watch the evening news weeknights on TV, stream it, read it at ncwlife.com, or catch the latest news by following us on Facebook. Stay informed with local news, sports, weather, and shows featuring local people and events. NCW Life, a reflection and a spotlight of the communities we call home.
Are you watching me? If you're watching me and you are a business owner in North Central Washington, your potential customers could be seeing your TV commercial right now. With Solely on Broadcasting, TV advertising is effective and affordable. Place your ads on the network best suited to your potential customers or get top-of-mind awareness with 16 cable networks, including NCW Life, your local TV channel. Give Solely on Broadcasting a call at 888-2020 today to see how easy and affordable it is to advertise on TV.
SkillSource specializes in assessing and guiding youth, adults, and laid-off workers who want to improve their skills. Here you can attend in-depth workshops to assess skills and interests, make career plans, and learn computer basics.
Learning centers provide eligible youth and adults individualized computer-assisted basic education. Vocational training is arranged with approved providers like community colleges or on the job with businesses.
Don't wait any longer. Let's get working on the future you've been dreaming about.
With spring finally here, summer must be just around the corner. So, moms and dads, what have you planned for the kids this summer? Registration is now open to sign up online using our new RAC app or by calling the club. Our team of professionals have multi-sport camps, swim and tennis lessons, swim team, and much more packed into our summer schedule. I'm Emma, RAC Membership Coordinator. Give me a call today. Our special summer memberships can be purchased starting May 1st. See more details at wrac.org or call 662-3544. The RAC, where we play every day.
Welcome back. You got about 4 minutes left on this Monday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley as we all kind of go, whew, the Apple Blossom Festival is a done deal. The 100th is in the books. Now we just have to clean up this town and get back to normal. And you don't have to be somebody who imbibed over the weekend to kind of have a collective hangover, so to speak. Even if you don't drink, it kind of, because I don't know about you, but I crammed a lot into the 3-day weekend that was the Apple Blossom Festival. I had a great time. Anyway, I hope you did too. Don't forget, we'll be rebroadcasting the Stimmill Growers Grand Parade on a number of occasions throughout the course of this week. Just check local listings. You can download our weekly television program schedule by going to ncwlife.com. ncwlife.com, you'll see the icon for the schedule, and it's a PDF file. You can just download it, and it's right there, and then you can just go through and decide when your favorite shows are and when you want to watch them on television. And of course, as I mentioned before at the top of the hour, the parade will be made available for you to watch on demand on our website as well, in addition to our rebroadcasts here on television. Speaking of television broadcasts, Street Talk and Other Stuff live this morning with Mike Mad Dog Magnotti. His guest is Steve Crown, Chief Steve Crown of the Wenatchee Police Department. Of course, Mike is a former police officer himself with the Wenatchee PD. He's going to have Chief Steve Crown on as his guest today at Street Talk and Other Stuff live in the studio at 10 o'clock this morning. Later on this week, along with many, many guests that will be dropping by Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Tomorrow, Darcy Christopherson, the administrator of the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival, she'll be by tomorrow to kind of talk about what went well, which was everything. Pretty much she'll kind of put a ribbon and a bow on the 100th Apple Blossom Festival and start looking forward to the 101st. It'll be great to see Darcy. She'll be in here tomorrow live. Also coming up this week, our friends from the Town Toyota Center, specifically the folks who are putting on the Hell on Hooves Rodeo. It's the last official Apple Blossom event. As a matter of fact, the Hell on Hooves Rodeo, which is coming up this weekend at the Town Toyota Center, it's going to be a great time. Those folks will be dropping by and seeing me later on this week as well. We'll be visiting with Pete Phillips. He'll be dropping by too. We'd love to see Pete from the North Central Educational Services District. Whole week full of guests coming up to get your day going here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Last time in my business before we cut you loose and hit you on down the road for this Monday, let's take a look at that weather forecast. Look at that. I have nothing to say except, yay! Just fantastic. We had such a great weekend for the Apple Blossom Festival. We topped off at 74 on Saturday, 77 yesterday. We'll hit 80 today. The last time the Wenatchee Valley got to 80 degrees was back on September 27th of last year. So we've had to wait 219 days to get to 80 degrees, but we should get to 80 today, 82 Tuesday and Wednesday, warmer still by the time we get to Friday and Saturday. There's a big ridge of high pressure that's over the Pacific Ocean, about, about 200 miles out over the Pacific Ocean. It's going to slowly work its way west to east. That's going to make the jet stream go way up into British Columbia, and all kinds of inclement weather is going to bump right into that dome of high pressure and move to the north, and that means nothing but sunny and mild temperatures. No rain in the forecast, although we are still in a little bit of a drought. We could use a little bit of rain. There isn't any at all in the forecast. As far as wind, none at all either. Nothing to say except sunny and mild and warm. Just about gorgeous anywhere you go in north central Washington. In fact, all of the Pacific Northwest is in for some sunny and warm weather all this week. Yes, we earn our springs around here, especially after the most recent winter. Everybody have a great Monday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.